Hey, this is Joe, and this is a quick explainer video for you guys to understand what the concept of tree humans is, and more specifically, what you could do to help out if you want to help us create this documentary. Um, I've never made a documentary in my life. Um, I have no prior experience in telling stories over film. I've done a few small little videos for work things before, but it's never been a proper narrative or a proper story, and I don't have much or any experience with filming things. So I'm in a perfect position to start a documentary, and what I'd like it to achieve is to highlight the connection between humans and trees, and not specifically just trees and humans. I think it's everything and everything ultimately, but trees and humans are two quite symbolic things, and I think there's a special connection there between the two things. All of life on Earth kind of relies on there being plants and trees and fungi, preceding all of that, allowing them to be there. So it's quite a special connection, and through the last few hundred years of millennia, we've kind of gradually stepped away from that connection. A lot of the indigenous people still have that really strongly, and we're starting to see the sort of possibly the side effects of living so far removed from that as well as a society. But the beautiful thing is our bodies know what's right. Because our thought processes might have evolved, but our bodies are still way more intelligent than our thought processes are. Yeah, what are we going to need for this documentary? We're going to need people who are, first of all, passionate about this as a cause and as a thing to do. We hope that this film goes on to bring more of an appreciation of the fact that we are nature to people. And we hope through that, or even if it just sparks a conversation and gets a little bit of movement there, we hope that then lays even more ground for projects that are going to be set up in such a way that's sort of mindful of nature, and allows nature space just to be. So that affects all areas of our life. I mean, it's a really, 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 really spread out and complex web of things that we need to do in terms of sustainability. And it comes down to some simple things, the reduce, reuse, recycle. But in terms of getting that set up across society, that's actually quite a challenge. And so I hope documenting these connections that people have with trees will just spark that knowing in their bodies. And it will encourage people to spend more time in nature and to protect what's already there. And to allow more land that's maybe being used for intensive agriculture to then regenerate back to some native forests, because the biodiversity that comes with that's super, super important. And there are things that we don't yet understand in terms of why things are important. We're just starting to notice them when they're not there anymore, like bees. And I think there's a lot more things like that to come. So just allowing nature the space to do its thing is really, really important. So we're looking for people who are storytellers, filmmakers, photographers, other people who can help us out just, running the project. Maybe they can help us reduce our costs or, put us up somewhere. There might be people who are looking to help, fund this as well, which would be fantastic. There could also be people who are visually inclined that would like to help us with some branding or some imagery around it. There's heaps and heaps that we need, musicians as well. I think I've got a real strong connection to music. I love music. I studied music. It would be great if there was musicians who this project appealed to, some artists that we could work with that would allow us to use their music within this, and share the film on their channels as well. We need other people to help get the message out there as well, to help see this everywhere. There's just heaps of people, and I think it's a global project, and the objective of it is to simply to raise awareness, and it doesn't necessarily matter what form that takes, whether that's specifically a documentary or whether that's just the process of creating something, or whether it's a conversation that sparked through this whole thing. It doesn't really matter, the end result, and the journey of getting to the end result is probably the most important thing. So yeah, that's it. If this calls to you in any way, shape or form, then send me a message. Thank you.